few years ago, our family took a trip to Munich, Germany. And while we were there, we visited the site of the concentration camp at Dachau. An incredibly somber and sobering experience. One of the areas that we visited while we were there at Dachau was the Catholic Memorial Chapel that's now located on the grounds. And we'd been in there for quite a while before I noticed off to the side a small candle burning that showed that the Eucharist was present there. And it struck me at that moment how utterly fitting it was that Jesus was present in that place of all places. As the Eucharist reminds us, God has pitched his tent with the human race, and especially with those who are scorned or rejected or who suffer in any way. And the Eucharist that we receive calls us to the mission of serving other people and working for justice. Welcome to the New Hampshire State House. One of the great blessings of my ministry is that I get to spend a lot of time working here with the many public servants that inhabit these halls. Pope Francis often says that politics is one of the highest forms of charity because it seeks the common good. What an incredibly insightful and countercultural perception that is. Because I suspect that if we walk over here to Main Street in Concord and we ask people, many folks will say that politics and charity are complete opposites. And therein lies the problem. I think that's why Americans are filled with so much despair when they think about politics in the 21st century. Because if we take politics and charity and separate them, then what are we left with other than an endless cycle of elections where the only goal is to gain power and to retain power? We need to keep politics and charity together to escape from that cycle. And through our work as Catholics in the public square, we can help to make that happen. And we do that by making Christ present even in places where people might not expect it. When we walk through the door of a state house, or any house for that matter, we may not bring the Eucharist with us, but we bring ourselves as an offering on behalf of our brothers and sisters in need. We really should think of our advocacy in the public square on behalf of human dignity and the common good as being a way of washing the feet of our brothers and sisters who are in need, just as Jesus commanded us to do. When we do what Jesus once did, we bring Christ to other people, and we share with them the hope that we have found. Back in 1963, Thomas Merton wrote an Advent homily where he talked about the question that John the Baptist posed to Jesus when John was in prison near the end of his life. Are you the one who is to come, or should we look for another? Merton pondered whether our contemporaries have the right to ask us this question. Are you the kingdom of Christ who is come, the Prince of Peace, the Just One, the Messiah who comes to bring unity and peace to the divided world of mankind? This led Merton to ask one final momentous question. If we are who we claim to be, then don't our contemporaries have the right to see in us some visible evidence of the presence and action of Christ? I have to say that when I first read those words many years ago, they sent shivers up my spine. And for me, they are at the heart of the mission of the church in the public square. What do people see when they observe what we do? If we're filled with bitter scorn for those who disagree with us, or if we're perceived as acting in our own self-interest or for our own power, then do people see the presence of Jesus there? But on the other hand, if people see us work for the common good and acting with kindness and empathy for everyone, whether they agree with us on some issue of public policy or not, then isn't that just the kind of persuasive evidence that people need to know what the kingdom of God is like? So that's the gift that I hope we can bring to our brothers and sisters in the public square and everywhere this Advent and throughout the year. The gift of God's presence. And if we do that, if we furnish the evidence, then we'll be for others like that candle burning in a chapel in a very unexpected place.